And as we mentioned, flooding is still a major concern for Charleston, South Carolina. CBS News correspondent Jamie Yuccas, you hear her there, is joining us now knee deep in floodwater there. Jamie, what can you tell us about what you've been seeing and experiencing?
Well, that's Rena, as you just said. I am knee deep in floodwaters here. This is the biggest concern that they had in Charleston was all of this flash flooding. If we go ahead and just walk through, it does get a little bit better as we get up to the intersection here, but this continues all the way down. And there are many streets around Charleston like this, up to 90 streets in total in the Charleston area that look just like this. Also, we've seen many power lines down. We've seen lots of trees down. In this particular area, we're sheltered just a little bit, but I'm told just around the corner, there's a palm tree laying over the street. That's why they've asked so many people to just hunker down, wait for the storm to blow out of here, and don't start checking damage. Don't go start seeing what's happening in this area. We got video a little bit ago showing us of some transponder fires that were happening as power lines were snapping and coming down. We also just recently went to a business in downtown historic Charleston who has never seen flood in a hurricane. They are flooding. It's just a little bit in their basement, but they were very surprised to see that happening. So I just heard David Parkinson talk about the fact that they weren't getting the storm surges here and that was good. But I can tell you that people have been very surprised by this storm and just the amount of water that's ending up in so many different places. As you can see in this knee-deep water here, you've got flooding in some of the businesses and homes starting to happen. We've had in some places around Charleston, I'm told by the National Weather Service, about 7 inches of rain so far. It is still raining right now, so we're going to watch and see how that impacts the area as those high tides do come in, but luckily not with the storm surge as was feared.
And Jamie, the folks you've spoken to there, do they have the sense, you mentioned that this was sort of surprising for some of them, were they prepared for the flooding and the devastation you've seen so far?
Yeah, I think they were prepared. The governor, issued a mandatory evacuation for almost 1 million people on Monday. Most people heeded that evacuation warning. If they didn't, this business owner in particular, he lives out on Folly Beach, which has had some very, very, very strong winds. They decided as a family to come into downtown historic Charleston because they're in a building that's 150 years old. It has weathered Hurricane Hugo 30 years ago where they had catastrophic flooding, also the Civil War. So they were up on the 2nd and 3rd floor of that building and felt very safe. Others that were in low-lying areas got out of town. They went to family and friends inland. The governor did reverse lanes so that people could head to higher ground. And from what we're seeing and what we're hearing from emergency officials, most people have been heeding the warnings to just sit tight, hunker down, or they went inland during the storm.
Jamie Yuccas, we hope you and the crew stay safe down there. Jamie, thank you very much for joining us.